good time? Yeah! Fantastic. I've got a surprise for you today. It's my bloody birthday. Yeah. I tell you, I can tell you one with 36 years experience. Now, you young kids will probably get your phone out and do that on the calculator. Us older people need an abacus to do it. But anyway, yeah, I've got an alter ego as well living around here in Surrey Hills and Darlinghurst. The last Mardi Gras, I wanted to get dressed up in drag, you know, and lip sing the song I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. And the gay friends just laughed at me and said, "No, mate." I said, "What do you mean? Look at these legs. Look at these high cheekbones, this square jaw, a nose that hasn't been touched." Well, actually, it has been touched, so I wrapped a line of coke up in the bathroom. So anyway, I am late. I was supposed to go first, but I was down at Surrey Hills Police Station, and I'd like to thank them for dropping the charges and let me back into your fine state. In my eyes, there's only two states to be in. That's Queensland and drunk. And I was up in Queensland a few years ago, and I was sitting in my chair ready to watch a State of Origin. You've got a chair, haven't you, mate? Have you got a chair? You're a man, you've got a chair. Everybody's got a chair. That's right, you've got a chair. That's your throne. If you went missing, they give that cushion to a bloodhound and say, "Find that smell." And then they revive the dog and send him on his way. So anyway, I'm sitting in my chair, having a couple of runs, waiting for the State of Origin to come on. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. I said, "Who is it?" They said, "It's the police." I said, "What do you want?" They said, "We want to talk." I said, "How many of us are there?" They said, 5. I said, "Well, talk amongst yourselves." So anyway, I was sitting there watching the State of Origin. And I had a bad injury in there. I've got to let you know about this. This is some of my experiences being 36 plus 21. I had a bad injury in there. That's right, back in 74. It was near Bucketheads playing beach volleyball. The V still plays up to this day. But I was about 8 years old back then, and my father made me eat food or stuff that my sister didn't have to. One was dirt. That's right, dirt. The only advantage about that is I didn't ever got sunburnt. So I had dirt smeared all over my face as a young kid. They kept those UV rays out. The second one was sardines out of a can. Oh, yuck. He said to me, "Eat it, son, we'll put hairs on your chest." I said, "I'm an 8-year-old kid, is that a good thing?" But anyway, it is a good thing because I've got a throw rug now, and I was the only one in primary school that had one. And yeah, so the girl Shazza, I've got to tell you about her. I'm Dazza, she's Shazza, you know, pretty romantic, I think. She was lying in bed one night, she says, "Dazza, I think the baby's coming early." I said, "You sure this kid's mine? I've never been on time for anything in my life." So I got the night bag, I put her in the car, and by the way, I've got a new car. It's a 1963 Ford Zodiac. We're talking 4-door, wind the window down, air conditioning. Fuck me, look at the chrome on that. That's how wicked my car was. So I'm driving down the street, I've got all my lights on, high beams, extra spotlights, brake lights, the works. People are getting up ready to go to work. They think dawn's broken. That's how bright my lights work. And I'm walking down the hospital doing miles an hour. I look in the rear vision mirror and I see a blue and white flashing light of the full frustration. So I pull in so I talk to him. And he was the police because when he hopped out of the car, he had one of those bright luminous flap jackets. Police stenciled across the front and the back, saying police. I thought, "Oh, I'm working undercover tonight, are we?" He came up the car and he put his head in the window, which probably moved to his mouth up at the time. He said, "Do you realise how fast you're going?" I said, "You tell me, officer, you're the one trying to keep up." He says, "You're the driver of the vehicle." I said, "It's an automatic, but I've got to be here." And he said, "Can you identify yourself?" I looked in the rear vision mirror, I said, "That's me." Jokes were screaming off my tongue, you know what I mean? Then I thought to myself, the police are very critical, aren't they? They always pull you over when you do something wrong, don't they? Wouldn't it be nice, right? Wouldn't it be nice to pull you over and say, "Listen, man, the way you took that corner was really cool," you know what I mean? Give you some flowers or chocolates or something instead of hassle people all the time. Well, now Shaz is sweating because the baby's getting really near. He said, "What's she having a baby?" I said, "Yeah, mate, but if you could see it hang around here any longer, I'll be out looking for work." So anyway, the Babylon was feeling generous. He flagged us down the street. So I'm popping down the hospital. Suddenly the same policeman pulled me over again. I said, what now? He said, listen mate, the way you took that corner was really cool. I said, what now guys, an emergency. I finally get to hospital, they were shazzing me. She had a baby girl. I was right happy and proud and everything. And then I thought to myself, what kind of world am I bringing my child into? There's pollution everywhere. There's a huge hole in the ozone layer. There's that much shit in the atmosphere. Jet pilot's got to pull over every 3 kilometres to clean the windscreen. Pretty soon there won't be any oxygen left. Dealers will be selling oxygen on the street for $50 a hit. Kids are going to come home all bright-eyed and healthy. Parents are going to say, you've been out breathing again, haven't you? I don't know, you used to put your kid down for a public school. I'm going to put mine down for another planet. So anyway, it was about 6 weeks after we called our baby daughter, Kazza. We thought it was Shazza, Dazza and Kazza. So it was 6 or 7 weeks after she gave birth. I said, let's go down to the Imperial, you know? And we met, and what the baby said, just you and me, to be romantic. She goes, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Dazza. So we walked down the pub, going there at 10 past 10, that's for the spiritually attuned that are in numerology and angel numbers. It was 10 past 10, I thought, that's going to be a great day. And there was one bloke in the pub at that stage, he's pissed as a fart, pissed as 10 bloody sailors. He's giggling, he's dancing, he's pirouetting, he's even doing backflips. And I said, who's that, Shaz? He goes, oh, she goes, that's Brian. He proposed to me 10 years ago, but I knocked him back. I said, fuck me dead, he's still celebrating. Thank you.
With a nice little baton change, we have 50 applause going, we have that!
Hi everyone, it's good to see you all. My name's Cam. Now, if you're like anyone that I have ever met in my entire life, you'll immediately be thinking, geez, that guy's tall. And I'm 6'8". Yeah, thank you. So it's great being tall. People